Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily twin flame check-in. I love having you guys here. Let's dive straight into the reading. I did post a post in the community tab and actually linked the link to my episode of Mindfully Awake yesterday. We talked about attracting abundance and wellness through mindset shifts. All right, so that's the thing where a lot of times we keep thinking, I can't go forward with my business, with my financial abundance because I need, and somehow it comes out that you actually need to have something to kind of invest, to help it grow, to do this, to do that, to start expanding. But this is something that you can do that's not going to cost you any money, but it does take discipline, it does take certain courage if you wish, and yes, a little bit of knowledge on how to do it. But there's so much information out there today, and whatever inner work you're doing was like the core stories, the core issues, whatever those are for you, they are gonna impact your financial health. I can guarantee that. But if you want to learn more, definitely you can actually search for this episode, like just search Mindfully Awake and you'll find it. It's usually on top of the search results in YouTube, on Facebook, even just in Google. But also I linked the episode to yesterday's reading. I'll probably do one for today just in case as well. All right, so let's start with an oracle message. Today I've got the enchanted map. So for feminines, we got movement. Yeah, so we actually talk about movement from time to time, mostly in the dancing context. So for me, when I see movement, because I'm a divine feminine, so I'm taking this message for myself as well, I immediately think of dancing, right? Could be biomechanical workout. But of course, it can be such a variety of different options. That what does movement mean to you? Maybe, I don't know, you're fixing something in the house with your power tools or something. That's movement for you because you'll need to move around to get it done or something, whatever it is. Or it's a walk in the woods. I wish I had woods nearby. I don't, but I will definitely take a walk later today. So whatever it is for you, just go into that exercise of movement, whichever way you're called to do it, right? And it definitely provides, apart from like general fighting stress and helping relieve whatever inner tension you may feel, and of course bringing in dopamine and all that stuff, but it also helps the general energy flow, right, on a deeper level. And a lot of times that's what we need, even if we are following our spiritual regimen, the inner work, maybe whatever you're doing for your mindfulness and wellness routine. But we sometimes need to kind of that extra jolt to keep the energy moving. Sometimes we can achieve that by getting a session with someone else, whether it's like a chiropractor or an acupuncturist, or even maybe a coach or mentor, right? But somebody who can like get their energy in and kind of like create certain shifts for you, right? But you can do it yourself through movement at any time. All right, movement is your friend today. For masculines, we have Wandering Circus. I'm not gonna read the book because I do want to move forward with this read. I'm just gonna say that Wandering Circus is, to me, immediately it means that something has been fun for a while and you've had your fun, divine masculines, but you know deep down that it's a bunch of BS. It's not really doing any good to you, it's not helpful in terms of your physical and mental health. It's not really like, even the joy that it brings, whatever this activity is, it's very short-lived. And deep down the issue remains, right? It's not entertaining you and it's not saving you from depression, from apathy, from melancholy, whatever it might be. So time to look at it, to face the music and see what you can do to change that, right? Doesn't mean necessarily that you have to give it up, but maybe there's something else that you also need to do. Let's put it that way. Okay, I'm gonna use the Steampunk Tarot for the read, and I'm gonna use the Gold Foil Tarot for the clarifications. How about that? Mixing it up. Tomorrow we're gonna be talking full moon in Aquarius. I am charging my moon lamp today, so we're gonna have a lamp back, and I am gonna use the Dream Keeper's Tarot and have a little surprise for the Oracle deck as well for you. Wow, 4 of Wands, bottom of the deck, boom. But again, this deck for me, it's like setting the foundation. It's making sure that you know, take care of business. I'm hearing whatever unfinished business you have karmically that you know that you need to take care of. This is the energy of taking care of it. This is great timing for it. Tying up loose ends, removing things that don't serve. 10 of Pentacles. Wow. You see the abundance, the connections, they're all on the way. And actually, speaking of which, during Mercury retrograde, and 4 of Wands is the commitment, it's the connection. It doesn't have to be just romantic. It can be a commitment to contract of business partnership. Who knows, right? But whatever it is, it's actually advised not to make this kind of serious commitments during Mercury retrograde, whether it's personal or professional level. So be careful with that. Nobody's like, you can be considering it, right? But take your time. If like there is a potential business partner that's pushing you for it, tell them that you need a couple of weeks to sort something out yourself, right? And you can use this time to, well, obviously to read the contract in detail, because that's another big advice on the Mercury retrograde front, but also to see whether you can take some steps to make this a better collaboration, to cleanse things that are going to be in the way otherwise, you know, so you free up the space for that partnership, if anything. Feminines, you've got Queen of Cups clarified by Justice. We keep seeing Justice for the feminines, but I love that, really. This is like fair treatment, you know, from emotional perspective, right? Like this is like real fair treatment. This is both building boundaries, keeping an open heart. This is like this perfect mixture that means that you actually share of yourself with the other person, whatever that communication or relationship is, but also you kind of keep yourself wholesome, right? So you don't people please, you also don't lash out on other people if you're going through something bad, you know, things like that. So this is like this art of inner energy balance for the sake of external communication, because Justice is actually, you know, making us look at the external. Masculines, you have King of Pentacles clarified by Page of Cups. Masculines realize that they need to bring a little more fun and heart into what they've been doing. You know, this is like a serious businessman card. Somebody who has a certain status in their community, who's been out and about a lot, you know, they've reached success in that area. But sometimes it's good, it's almost like, you know, a childhood memory kind of vibe that's brought back. And the masculines are seeing that sometimes it actually helps. And again, we were talking about movement shifts at the beginning. That's one of the ways also to speak to your inner child, really. But like when something, some kind of kid activity is around you, like it just, or it pops in your mind and you don't even know why, right? It's weird. Maybe you don't even have kids, but it's your inner child talking to you. And it's something that either you never got to do as a kid, or maybe it even didn't exist, but now you see it and it's like speaks to you, to something that where you didn't have enough of XYZ, right? And this is a very good way to connect to your inner child and bring more joy and happiness and fulfillment to them. So why not do even something childish? I don't know, or like whatever you may feel at first that it's childish, you know, for such a serious person. But once you start doing it, you'll find out how much fun it is. And maybe you'll make more friends. Who knows? If you have kids, maybe that's gonna be your favorite thing to do with your kid. Additional question, Seven of Swords clarified by the Devil. Tough cards. We're talking about lying to ourselves, really, right? It's like, where was I too worried about other people's opinion, and I felt like I needed to comply. So I ended up lying to myself and betraying myself, really. For feminines, it's the Fool clarified by High Priestess. This is the vibe of being your wicked self, let's call it that way, right? Of course, it's going to be very different for each individual person, but this is like embracing the, you know, the spirit within, right? What it's asking you to do, to have that freedom of expression without thinking, am I going to look foolish? Are people going to think this is too woo-woo and stop respecting me or talking to me or whatever? Because not everyone understands, not everyone is accepting of that, right? And these are major arcana. So actually, if you have those situations, divine feminines, these are the divine lessons that are being sent to you for you to look into it more closely. And first of all, see why you have insecurities there. And second, of course, make choices towards freedom and towards showing your authentic self. I had a phase in my life where it wasn't around spirituality, it was more around a women in business kind of vibe, because I've worked in tech as a manager for quite some time. And of course, some communities were kinder than others in terms of, you know, it's still men dominated. And a lot of men, like, maybe it's a little easier now, but like 5-10 years ago, it was still pretty tough for some people to get their mind around a woman executive. So yeah, and the more I felt and I heard that kind of attitude, you know, the prejudice against me, the more I wanted to be my feminine self, my girly self, and show them that I can be, you know, a little goofy, you know, talk to them about girly stuff, and at the same time I can do my job really well, right? And it widens their horizons. And yes, we had good relationship, they were decent people. It's just that, you know, we have those prejudices, pretty much all of us do, for different reasons, right? But it makes a difference, of course, and it brought me a lot of joy to change their perspective that way. So somebody needed to hear that, I guess. Masculines, you have Knight of Wands clarified by Knight of Pentacles, the fastest knight and the slowest knight, right? So masculines are figuring out, like, between, do I do something, like, am I supposed to be my masculine self and like take a decisive action, or I'm supposed to take it slow and see what happens? And sometimes that serves the best, you know, not to be too rash in your decisions, right? That there is like difficulty in switching between, right? Like, a lot of times this choice is driven by what is expected and not what the inner self actually feels and sees, right? Or the emotion, right? This could be a freeze response. This is a fight or flight response, right? This is working through the emotional reaction, really, and understanding where the gaps are, or where you stop listening to yourself, to your heart center, you know, to how you really feel, right? And you just go emotional in a situation. How the feminine see in the connection? We have the Emperor clarified by King of Pentacles. They can sense the masculine really establishing themselves and their role in what they do in society and as a person for themselves on the personal level, you know. So they have more self-confidence, they have more confidence and they feel better about appearing in this kind of vibe. It's very interesting that we saw this card, King of Pentacles, in the masculine energy, and the feminine can sense it, right? That this is like this healthy, settled energy of, like, I know who I am, I know my worth, right? It's a really great feeling here. How the masculine see in the connection? We have the World clarified by Four of Pentacles. So masculines definitely finished the cycle of playing small, being too careful, and thinking that if it's not ideal, or if I don't believe that it's gonna be 100% successful, then I better not even start. I better not even bother with it, right? I'll just keep looking or whatever, right? They're putting that aside, that insecurity of like, yeah, no, I can't risk that. Or, I can't lose what I already have. And you know what, like it may sound at first as this is like maybe like a financial risk, right? But because this is the way that this is the connection, right? But if we go into the connection context, this could be something like, and there's always some sort of social difference between, or social gap if you wish, between the two twins that constitute a couple that are truly DM and DF to each other, right? It could be age, race, social status, geographical location, you name it. But something that's not easy to bridge, something that's like, deep down, like in your mind at least, like it's like, I never thought that I would actually go there, and like I have my type, right? Or like I have this kind of concept in my head of the potential partner, and I'm gonna stick with it, right? Because if you're looking at options outside of that concept, it seems scarier, like I don't even know if it's gonna work out, like I don't know those kind of people, like, or I have no idea what that culture is like, so I don't even think we'll understand each other that well. That's usually the main reason why people stick to certain type, and a lot of times it's somebody who is similar to them. But this is ending, and the masculines are now seeing how much more variety and richness in life they're gonna have if it's somebody who's not their typical, not their type, somebody who is outside of their comfort zone, just out there living a very different life, having a very different life experience, seemingly at least, right? And this is gonna enrich their life as well, and the way they see things, and how they can impact the world. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing full moon in Aquarius, so very important reading. Definitely tune in, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I love you all.